Man, slow down.
Yeah, baby, yeah, baby. Giddy up, giddy up.
So we're here at Fairyland today, and we're working on the dragon, and actually it's the dragon tail. In right behind the pardon our dust sign right here is the broken tail that we'll be working on today, and you can see it kind of comes around and wraps around the tree here, and then it's bolted back to the tree. And over the years, as the tree grew, the tail lifted and broke off, and so they've repaired the tail. And so you can see I'm not Kirk, and Kirk has sent us here to do the work, but he'll be by later to take all the credit. He's good about that. And we may get him to help with the mud work on it, and you know, so that he can show us how to do it properly. Because after 35 years, I'm still just learning compared to him. That's a joke. I hope you like my sarcasm. But we're here to get all the, you know, all the easy stuff done, so that Kirk can come and do the hard stuff for us. So next video, hopefully we'll see Kirk in it. All right, thanks for watching.
Look at this dragon. We are at Children's Fairyland in Oakland. Bring your kids here because they got some cool stuff here. As Andy was showing you, he went ahead and wired this. All of these structures here, guys, like all this got wire in it. It's got wire in it, and then how you put all this together, I should let Andy explain it since he did it. You put machine screws, and they go into this. And this is tie wire, where there's no machine screws. You just kind of get it, crimp it, and tie it. So this right here, that's a day's work right there. When I got here, I said, oh, I see how it is. It left me a little spot. But anyway, we're going to use this mortar mix first. Mortar mix is a drag to work with. It sets in like 5 minutes, but that's what we want. We'll mix it up. We'll take it out of the bucket with our hands, in gloves, and put it here. And what that'll do is it'll mushroom through this, and in 10 minutes, we'll have a hard base coat. Then after we got the base coat on, it'll look like heck. We're going to mix this up, stucco mix. Now this stuff is like 3 times stronger than regular stucco, in case that tree decides to keep growing. Anyway, we're going to match all the details there by hand with our glove. I thought I'd show you guys some things here. That school right there, that's where I taught Andy how to plaster years ago. All right. Okay, now for the fun part. You want to put it on top? Cool beans. I'm just going to use my glove and go gently. Because if I don't go gently, it's all going to go right through this mesh. It's going to go through the mesh anyway, but we want to put as much of it on as possible. Now, if I had one of these jobs every day, I would love it because these are so fun. These take imagination, they're creative, not like the normal stuff we do every single day, scratching brown. That gets kind of boring. I'm trying to use a gentle hand with this because Andy's putting it on and he wants to trowel it on, which would work too. We got a Nado here. He is troweling it on. And he's kicking our ass. He's doing it faster and better than we are. Stop it, man. You're making us look bad. Man, Nardo, you're almost done. Bernardo's a 40-year plasterer. He's kicking ass. I'd say Bernardo's much better than me and Andy. He's getting it done. This is what we call fun plastering, guys.
I think we should make him the hod carrier. Oh.
Shit, what am I?
It would do him well to, you know, start back at the beginning. He's forgotten how a lot of this works. And when you start from the beginning, you start to remember how it's done.
Oh yeah. Remember that time 20 years ago when we were arguing about who's faster, you or me? And we had a double-sided wall. And Lou says, well, why don't you do one side and I'll do the other. So Andy did one side. Dude, you are kicking ass. What am I supposed to? I'm supposed to be here looking good, and I don't have nothing to do now except brag about how good you are. That sucks. Anyway, 15 years ago, me, Lou, and Andy were doing a wall, double-sided wall. And we were talking about who's faster. So Lou says, you do one side, Andy will do the other side. And so we got going. And sure enough, after about a half hour, we went to see who spread the most. And lo and behold, Andy spread a lot more than me. And I said, well, you put it on thin. I put mine on thick. And of course, Lou sided with him and said, no, he didn't. He put it on just as thick as you did. So I had to come up with something else. I said, well, come on, man. You learned from one of the best in the business. Of course you're going to be faster than me. You're younger, stronger. Yeah, you're going to be faster than me. Anyway, this right here is not about speed. This is about fun. Anado, man, you are the greatest. I don't even know why I'm here. I should just leave you at it, baby. And now, guys, I mean, we just put this on, but this stucco, it sets incredibly fast. In fact, I see no reasons to use it, but this makes it perfecto. Now we use a brush, a float, because it makes it smoother, and we want this smooth. And again, this looks like it's almost done, but this is just a scratch coat, guys. All we're doing is a scratch coat. The water makes it stronger. The bristles makes it so that when the little kitties are sitting up here, they're not going to scratch them. Now we're coming towards the tail. We do the exact same thing. This mud is already getting stiff, which is good. If it's soupy mud, what happens, guys? Go right through it. So you got to know your materials when you're doing stuff like this. So all I'm doing now is I'm just smoothing it out and trying not to push it inside the wire. That's the hard part. We do this, and we have a tendency to push it, and it'll go through the wire. Then we got to double, triple, quadruple coat it. Do you know why Andy's putting scratch lines in this? Do you care? We are going really thick on this. And the reason we're going really thick is because some kids might just jump on this, and it's got to be able to hold heavy weight, like my brother Lou. If Lou came over here and he said, ooh, and wanted to jump on this, it's got to hold his weight too. And this particular material, 4,500 psi. The concrete is 3,500 psi, so this is actually stronger than that. And this is about 2 inches thick. And we're still going to put another coat. Those scratch lines are what we call a mechanical bond. So the next coat enters that, and we call it a mechanical bond. So anyway, we are getting there. Then we're going to take some lunch and put the last coat on here. And this second coat is going anywhere between half inch to 3/4 of an inch. Why do we need to go so thick? For strength. This particular stuff is in 1 hour. This dries to say 2,500 psi. In 3 hours, close to 5,000 psi. In 28 days, it cures to about 6,000 psi. And if you're thinking, what the heck is a psi? Pounds per square inch. This right here is just regular stucco, which is 1,600 psi. So we're putting 2 coats, so this will hold anything. This is actually used for bridges, holes in cement by construction workers by the city. You got a hole in the ground, they come and fill it up with this stuff here, and you can drive over it in like an hour. And once this is done, you could use a brush, a roller, a paint roller. There are a lot of things you could use to smooth it out. I was using a brush earlier, and that actually smoothed it out pretty well. I'll probably still use that. This stuff is good for straw bale also. You got a straw bale house, guys. This, you put this stuff on it, you got some strength. You got a lot of strength.
And what I'd like to do is, I want to float it, and then I'd like to take the roller and roll over the float to drop the sand in the surface so that it has a nice smoothing, so it's not too rough as the children are playing on it. We don't want them to get abrasions or scrapes because the texture's not smooth enough. And the existing was floated. But the years of paint they've added has smoothed it out so nice that it's not really that abrasive anymore, and we want ours to be very similar.
Man.
That's all I got, man.
You're fired.
So now we're just texturing, and we're making sure that our shaping on the humps look consistent, and proportionately they're a little different. They look more like a saddle on the larger part of the tail, and then as we come to the end, they start to run, instead of across, they run vertical with the vertebrae, and the hump starts to run longer this way, and it's just to keep the proportion right with the breadth of the tail. And the detail of it all, of course, it's like that's what's going to make or break this thing.
Cool beans. A lot of ways to make this smooth. We can use this, we could use a roller, but if I knew a way to make it any smoother than this, I'd be using it. This is a brush for interior lime plastering. When you're doing lime plastering, you bring the fat out, you hit it with water, and that's what this brush does. It holds a lot of water. And just make it pretty, guys. This is the second coat, and it is about 2 inches thick now, maybe more some areas, and it's slick as a baby's butt. So
yeah, that's really leaving a nice finish on it. I love it, man. That's awesome.
It's just perfectamundo.
And you can see the existing here where the paint has really smoothed it, and so we're just trying to do our best so that once they go back with paint, it'll be as close as possible, and this just helps shape. And but timing again is everything. If I do it too soon, then it's going to leave too much. If I do it too late, it won't have an effect. So it's like getting it just right on time to kind of drop some of, and you don't see where you look at the existing, you see very few brush lines in that, and that's part of how the finish will look. If there's a bunch of, and you can see like in the tail back here where I haven't brushed it yet, Jay, if you come over, you'll see a lot of the brush lines that are in.
I got it.
Yeah, and we don't want to see that either. So it's just getting it just right.
Well, another thing you don't want to see is in the back of here, there's a big KG marked in it. I don't know who KG is, but
that would be Kirk Giordano.
You get done,
Oh,
I would fix that.
He thinks this is a family project where everybody's going to put their handprints and their footprints and their initials, but
well, how about
we're not doing that on this one, Kirk.
You got to do that.
Stop it. Get out of here, you graffiti artist. It's a graffiti artist over there, but we're gonna roll over the graffiti as it happens. So.
All right, guys, we'll show you the final cleanup and everything else. For us, just another day at the office. This is what we do daily. Anyhow, Andy, pleasure working with you again.
Absolutely. You see that Kirk, he's here to do the final with the video, and he's left the less important final touch-up stuff to me.
Because
to do the final touch-up on the work. So, but you know, as long as he got the important stuff done, that's the main thing.
I acknowledge you are way better than me.
No,
there's no glory in being better, though, because that means you got to do all the work.
It is such really a privilege to work together. We've been working together for years, and
don't mention
and it's
how
wonderful. You know, just bringing the best of our life experience to the trade. Appreciate your views, and as everybody says, we'll see you on the next one.
Woo! All right, folks, as always, we want to thank you all for watching. We really appreciate your questions and comments. Please let us know if there's anything you'd like to learn about. And as always, from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one. Okay, well, we're never going to get better than that, so...